Hello, everybody. Dr. J.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. How you doing?
Good.
I just
Very
saw
good,
Sergeant Berlin,
good.
I guess, again. Mr. Mark, how you doing?
Good. Yourself, Roger.
How's everything going?
All right, yourself.
Good, good, good. Thank you.
Walk of the summer, everybody so far.
Right.
It's okay. You can always look that.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the June 21st, 2022 Ashland Board of Health meeting. First, just a small disclaimer, this agenda is subject to change and includes those items reasonably anticipated by the chair to be discussed at the meeting. Not all agenda items may in fact be discussed, and other agenda items or other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. And with that, our usual participant, Mark, what do you have for us today?
Just saying happy summers for the first 12 plus hours so far. And everything else is going well. My dad's getting better. He's getting a little healthier, a little more very fatherly now back to me. So that was good. He had a good Father's Day. And the town itself, as far as I know, it's going well. And my only question can be either one to you or Ed is the CDC put out the new shots for the under 5-year-olds. Can anybody talk about that or see what it does here for this town? That's it.
Everybody's a little frozen.
Sure. It's on my agenda. I'll be updating the board regarding that. It should be my first topic. So.
Yep. Okay. All right. That's great. So Raj will answer that on his on item A in his health director's agenda. Okay. All right. And looks like Eric is up again for item 3 and 4, the septic system replacement variance request for 29 Deaton Road and 11 Loring.
Hi.
Hey, you're like a regular participant. We're gonna have to start charging you rental space like that.
That's right. Oh God.
I'm glad you're busy.
Yeah, overly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a tough one. This 29 Dean Road was definitely one of the best ones I've ever done.
Okay.
Let me share my screen. You guys there? Share screen. Can everyone see it?
Yes.
Okay. So Dean Road is located off of Waverly. It's the last neighborhood as you head towards Framingham. We've done about 4 or 5 houses up there. The builder Beck, I think it was the 50s or 60s, built a lot of these cesspools out of block, and a lot of them are caving in. This particular house is a 3-bedroom. It's on Dean. Behind the house are high tension wires, part of the Boston Edison transmission lines. Right here are the actual lines with the tower, but they own a 100-foot easement. So half of this homeowner's property cannot be used. You can't put any permanent structures, or you can't put a septic system or anything beneath those lines or within that easement. So that kind of limits it. The property itself is only about 13,000 square feet. So what we did is we're proposing a tank behind the property to a pump chamber, which is going to pump it up around this retaining wall. It's a 6-foot retaining wall that she recently built. Then we're going to tear up her driveway here. We did a couple test pits there, a lot of fill. We're proposing a stone bed, a leaching bed. As you can imagine, due to the limited space here, we're requesting variances from both the local and the Title V local upgrade approval. I can go through those easements if you want, or variances. I'm sorry.
Yep, the variances.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. The first one is section 303-7A from the local Board of Health. That's your local regulation. The Board of Health requires 3 test pits. I was only able to do 2 due to the limited area here. This is her driveway edge. We didn't want to dig into her driveway. Then this is pretty steep and wooded right here, and there's a hydrant. We didn't want to get too close to that. So there's only 2 test pits versus 3 as required in the regulations. Another variance is section 303-11, the leaching area. We were not able to design it for a garbage grinder, basically just due to site constraints. Third variance of the local is 303-11D. It's the leaching area. The leaching beds are not permitted in Ashland. Trenches are required, but due to the site constraints, trenches wouldn't work here, so we had to go with a bed. Then we go into the Title V local upgrade approval. Then we get into setbacks. This retaining wall is about 6 feet in height. We wanted to pull, the dig out here is going to be about, what am I saying? They have to dig down there's about 8 feet of fill here, so they have to excavate about 8 feet. We didn't want to go too close to that retaining wall, so I pushed it closer to the property line. Anything closer than 10 feet to the property line requires that we notify the abutters, which the homeowner did. It doesn't look like there are any here. So this is 5 feet to the property line from the system. The actual overdig will be right on the property line, but it is the property line, the front property line to Dean Road. So it's not encroaching on anybody's property or right against someone's bushes or fence or anything like that. The second variance for the Title V local upgrade approval is to allow a reduction in the setback from the SAS to the foundation wall. From a basement foundation wall, it's supposed to be 20 feet. We have it at 11.7. This is pretty steep here, and we wanted to keep it as far away as we can to limit any walls. You'd have to build a wall in here if you went further down the slope. And the third one, probably the most important one, is to allow a 25% reduction in the required soil absorption system. If you're doing a repair on a failed 3-bedroom, a failed system, and you're not adding bedrooms, the state allows you to reduce the size of this bed by up to 25%, which we did. That's about it just worked out perfect. That's what we could fit in there. And lastly, Section 310 CMR 405, 1 dash, I think that's an I. Because this was so deep, there was so much fill, we couldn't do a perk test. It's unsafe to get down in a hole 8 feet. So what we did is we took a couple of soil samples and we sent them to UMass, and they assigned us a rate which we used in the design, which wasn't a great rate. It was probably the worst you can get. It's like a 30-minute per inch soil. That's about it. This is a traditional system. Like I said, it's stone and pipe. We will have to tear up the driveway, but with the traditional systems and the way it's designed, they can pave over it after the fact. It will be vented. And we are requiring H20 loading distribution box in case the paving got over into this area. That's about it.
Okay.
Any questions?
Ask a question, Eric, just for myself, and maybe other people have the same question. What's the difference between a leaching bed and a trench, and why aren't beds allowed without a variance?
Ashland doesn't, some people think that beds fail prematurely. In Ashland, they're not allowed, but they're allowed in Title V. They're allowed in many other towns. It's, I'm not sure it was ever studied. There's just the theory that they fail prematurely, but we've dug up beds that are 50 years old, and they're still, they've been functioning fine. So it's just I'm not sure why Ashland or another town that does it is Sherburne require they don't allow beds.
And what exactly is the difference between the?
Oh, yeah. So a bed is just what you would do is they're going to excavate this area right here, which is, what is the size of this bed? 22 feet wide by 35 feet long. And they're just going to fill that with 12 inches of stone. And then they're going to lay perforated pipes spaced. What is the spacing here? Should be on the plan. Spaced 3.5 from the end, 5 feet, 5 feet, 5 feet. Whereas trenches, you would just have stone around the pipes a certain distance, and in between there would be no stone. So you'd have a trench here, and it'd be an area with no stone, another trench. And there'd be a spacing in between those trenches of, say, 10 feet of, in Sherburne or in Ashland, it's 10 feet, where it would be undisturbed material or naturally occurring.
Okay, thanks.
Either Eric or Raj, and I don't know enough about this either. Just the local variances, so A2 and B3 for the Title V local upgrade. Do those need to be mentioned on a deed restriction, or is that just understood with how these variances are written?
So, sir, my understanding is just the garbage grinder need to go on the deed, But
That's it. Nothing about increasing the size of the house with additional bedrooms, or that would have to come under a, that would have to be applied for anyway. So, okay.
Correct.
So does that need to be mentioned in our, in a motion, Raj?
So,
Or no?
Laura did have sent a motion that she have written, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Ed, do you have any questions?
No.
No? There you go. Short and sweet with that, huh? No. All right. So either Ed or Jay, you guys, one of you want to make a motion regarding variances?
Yeah, I can do I'll do the Ashland regulations is that all right?
Okay.
All right. So I make a motion to grant a waiver from the Ashland Board of Health Regulations 303-7 to allow for the subsurface sewage disposal system to be designed utilizing 2 deep holes versus the required 3 deep holes for 29 Dean Road.
Okay.
Should I go,
okay.
go through all of them?
As a group, or
That's up to you. I'm not sure how it would typically work.
I would just say go through all of it as a motion.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I'll do the next one then. I make a motion to grant a variance from Ashland Board of Health Regulations Section 303-11 to allow the subsurface sewage disposal system to be designed without a garbage disposal, with the conditions that no garbage disposal be installed within the house and a deed recording be placed on the property stating no garbage disposal shall be installed in the house while the subsurface sewage disposal system is in use for 29 Dean Road. And then the last one, I make a motion to grant a variance from Ashland Board of Health Regulations Section 303-11D to allow for the use of a leaching bed for 29 Dean Road.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Or second?
Actually, I'll second
Second.
it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye, Jay.
Aye, Ron. So that passes 3-0. Anybody else for the Title V local upgrade approval?
I can do those too. As a group, I make a motion to grant a variance from Title V Regulation 310 CMR 15 .405 section 1A to allow a reduction in the setback of the soil absorption system to the front property line of 5 feet versus the required 10 feet for 29 Dean Road. And I make a motion to grant a variance from Title V Regulation 310 CMR Section 15.405 Section 1B to allow for a reduction in the setback of the soil absorption system to the foundation wall of 11.7 feet versus the required 20 feet for 29 Dean Road. And I make a motion to grant a variance from Title V Regulation 310 CMR 15.405 Section 1C to allow for up to 25% reduction in the required subsurface disposal area design requirements for 29 Dean Road. And finally, make a motion to grant a variance from Title V Regulation 310 CMR Section 15.405 Section 1I to allow the soil absorption system to be designed on the basis of a sieve analysis versus a percolation test for 29 Dean Road.
Well done. Second?
I'll second.
Ed? Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. That again passes 3-0. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. On to the 11 Loring Drive.
Okay. Okay. It's not my, there it is. Okay, can I share my screen?
You should be able to. Sorry.
Okay.
I forgot we had to.
What's going on? I don't know why it's not. Let me try to move this. Oh, there we go. Okay. Share. There we go. Everyone see this one?
Yes.
Okay. This one is very simple. This house is located on 11 Loring Drive. It's off of South Street. It's behind the house on Chestnut Street that we recently did, the big house that's been there. The very unique house. It's stone with a terracotta type roof. You know that house I'm talking about. This is a horse farm. Everything complies to the regulations. We did the test pits. It's just going to be a gravity system going to trenches with a reserve area. The one thing we were not able to do is we were not able to run a perk test, which is an automatic variance. What we did is we dug down to do the perk between 30 and 48 inches. We had the perk started and it started to fill with water inside the perk hole. You can come back in the summer and try to run a perk once the soil dries out, or you could send the soil off to a lab if you're not planning on increasing bedrooms or anything like that. So what we did is we sent it off to UMass. They came back with a rate which we used in the design. So that's the only variance, and that's a Title V local upgrade approval. All the town variances, the local regulations were met, and this one was the only one from the local upgrade approval, which some people don't view it as a variance, but it is technically one in Title V.
Okay.
Another question for you, Eric. Just educate myself. So when you send off samples to a lab versus doing a real percolation test, is it pretty much predictive of what you would have gotten for results?
It actually comes in, most of the time, honestly, you get better results. A lot of the states, like I know Maine, they they don't do percolation tests. They consider it kind of an old fashioned way to do it. You send the soil to a lab, they dry it out. They run it through a bunch of sieves, and then from that, it's assigned a rate. Yeah, it's usually, I think that a percolation test can tend to be, can kind of hurt you sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Interesting.
give you a worse number. Makes the systems a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
It's
All right.
generally fairly accurate, but I found that, yeah, I would say out of 9 out of 10 of them, you're better off with sending it to a lab if you can, but you can't just voluntarily send it to a lab. You have to have a safety concern or a water coming in the hole, the test hole, or you can't run a perk test.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody want to make a motion to allow this variance?
Yeah, I'm happy to do this one. So I make a motion to grant a variance from Title V Regulation 310 CMR 15.405 Section 1I to allow the soil absorption system to be designed on the basis of a sieve analysis versus a percolation test for 11 Loring Drive.
Okay, great. Second?
I'll second it.
Okay, thanks, Ed. All right, all in favor? Aye. Okay, that passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Eric, thanks very much. Appreciate
Okay.
it.
Thank you.
You're welcome to stay, but I'm sure you have a lot better stuff to do. So,
Yeah.
like,
That's
keep designing septic systems that we can place in town. So,
right.
thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you,
All right.
guys. Take care.
Thank you. All right. All right. Moving on to agenda item 5. John, any updates on the remote area medical, or how you doing with that?
Yeah, we're doing well with it. A couple of updates. So I guess you could say we formally put together the leadership team, which is Ed Berman here, and Steve Mitchell and Ed Hart, as well as myself.
Wow.
So that's formally on the books with RAM now. We have our different roles. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, we met for the first time formally as the leadership team. And, even though this clinic is a ways out, it's over a year out, they encourage people to begin thinking about it and their tasks to complete even this far out. So that's good. We have a RAM representative coming out to look at Keefe Tech on July 13th. So that is the site visit, the official site visit, and that person will determine whether it's going to be a fit, and which it should be. I don't think it should be a problem. And we'll get a sense of how many patients we could actually see there and what the requirement might be for the volunteer staff and all of the metrics that then follow on from that site visit. So that's on the 13th. So that's encouraging. They usually don't do that unless they think that this is going to be a viable clinic. And then the last thing I just wanted to report in was that the Lynn clinic that I mentioned to everybody earlier. So Lynn has been planning a RAM clinic for a year, at least a year now. They've had trouble finding a site to do it, but they've picked and settled on KIP Academy. And that clinic is going to run from the 26th to the 28th. So that is a go. They expect to see or to serve anywhere from 400 to 600 patients. I wouldn't say it's a huge clinic, just based on the size of their dental service, 15 chairs. I've seen a lot more than that, but I think it's definitely something that we can learn from. So our team is going to try to get out there during that time. I'd like to see this set up and actually probably be out there every day for that. So that's August 26th to the 28th in Lynn. So that's the update. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Ed.
No, the only thing I think that I wanted to add, Jay, was during our first meeting, we did come up with that meeting that Steve Mitchell's going to work on, to hopefully work with Karen Spilka to see if Mass Health would be available to set up at the RAM clinic to assist anybody that may not have insurance, to get people signed up for insurance at the same time. That way, if anyone needs a follow-up appointment from there, they'll have that insurance that they might need to get appointments with some physicians.
Right. Yeah, I've got to get that on the agenda so our meeting's on Monday, so I'll get that on there. So yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. Any questions, Ron?
No, it sounds like a lot of work. Sounds like you guys are, certainly on track to be able to pull this together by next August.
Yeah, I mean, if you figure Lynn is still getting things together now for a clinic that's in 6 weeks. So, and I'm sure they're going to be able to do it, but just, I think it's good for us, not only that they're doing it, but also to see that we're giving ourselves plenty of time.
Yeah. Well, it looks like a huge undertaking and a ton of coordination between, local plus, wherever RAM is located. And it definitely seems like a lot to pull off, but it's like you guys have a good start on it. So
yeah,
thank you for all your time and effort. That's for sure.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun. So
yeah. All right. Well, at least I can offer some services. That's for sure.
Yeah, we'll hit you up, Ron.
Yeah, no problem. I'll see if I can
Definitely.
get a couple of my buddies to help out. I can
Yeah,
do about
that's-
100 myself, but after that, I'm probably done. So anyway,
Well,
that's
that's a
great.
big part of it is finding people that can help recruit other docs.
Yeah,
So it's one thing, having folks go in and volunteer their time, but any connections that we can make, through folks like you to other doctors, that's great too. So we'll definitely, when we get a sense of what we need to do and how many people we need to recruit, we'll come and ask you.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyone.
Yeah, just let me know. I'll go to the the state society, and there's usually people that like to help out with these type of things. So I'm sure I can grab a few more people to help out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. All
Okay.
right. And the consent agenda. Everybody get a shot to at least look at the meeting minutes for June 7th and the year-to-date budget review.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody want to make a motion to pass that consent agenda?
So I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda and the meeting minutes from the last meeting.
Okay, great.
I second.
Terrific. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Barbara? Okay,
Aye.
good. Okay, great. Passes 4-0. My favorite part of the meeting, that Raj gets to take over and do everything. How you doing, Raj?
Thank you, Dr. Ron. And I will answer Mr. Mark's question now as well.
Yeah.
So with COVID-19, thank you. The numbers are low, again, not the real numbers with a lot of home testing, but we are seeing cases like two, three cases every day. And again, that's one reason I'm not sending the graphs and all that, because those are not real numbers, of what's happening. Other than that, we did had a COVID clinic for 50 plus at the town hall last week, and we did administer 22 doses. We still have a lot of test kits, for the residents if somebody want to come grab it. Other than that, so I guess Saturday, CDC actually approved COVID-19 vaccine for kids, 6 months to 4 years. Now again, both Moderna and Pfizer are approved at this time. Moderna is 2-dose series, I guess Pfizer is 3-dose series. And we, at the regional level, we are planning some clinics, and those clinics was planned according to the demand. Right now, regionally, I mean, they're talking to even pediatricians' offices, if they need assistance, and it can be done there, given the age of the infants and the kids, so, but we'll definitely be planning something around that. Mr. Mark, hopefully I answered your question. If you have anything else, please,
I think he gave you the thumbs up sign.
Thank you.
Yeah.
With farmers market, we have inspections at both the times, last week, this week. This week, Tom found one person, who was unpermitted actually. Jennifer Lee's Bakery, we did them some grace, to come apply for the permit. Today we didn't hear from them for the permit, but at this point next week we won't be allowing them, if they don't get the permit. I know the next one, part C, is a tricky one. Last week, this Saturday, MBCC, that's Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition, had their event at the Hopkinton State Park. The event went pretty well, but before the event, we had some tough time, and we have to deal with some very unrealistic, kind of aggressive of their staff members, They have not applied for the permits on time. Our application clearly stated a 7-day deadline, and they was kind of asking us some unethical things, and we did had a conversation. They did send out a kind of, demeaning emails to the state regarding me and Tom, This has happened to Mr. Mark Oram also in 2014, At this point, we are kind of done with the event, but I just wanted to bring it to board's attention, that these kind of things still happen in public health, like kind of how public health is attacked, It was unsettling week for me and both Tom, We did get support from the management, Mr. Herbert, but it seems it's this kind of, that's how they deal with it, that's what was my impression, from MBCC, but my only goal here is just want to bring it on record with the board that 2 times, the health office have dealt with this staff, 2014, Mr. Oram dealt with it, and this time I dealt with it.
So, Raj, just to shed a little more light, so we could, what exactly are you needed for, and what did they want you to basically waive or just sign off on without proper documentation or registration?
So what happened this was in early March, they reached out to us, like for the application, and March 8th was when Laura sent them an application, the application clearly stated that, hey, there is a 7-week business weeks deadline, given they get like 8-10 vendors every time, So This was 4 days before the event. I had only one application in the office, and Monday morning I made a call to one of the volunteers, and I asked them like, hey, get me the applications, we are past the deadline, and we got a call back, but was not pleasant. We asked them and about what they was asking. There was a vendor who didn't have like certified food manager certificate that we need from vendors, right? Like, so what they was asking that they want to bring them under a different vendor, that because one didn't have certifications. And for a non-profit like that, we'll kind of accommodate, but their behavior was just, not good. They did send a kind of a threatening email to Mr. Manager, saying they'll take a legal action, though they have no ground whatsoever, They was late in their applications, and all that, So, and they mentioned Mr. Karan's name that there was an episode in 2014, but he was not even a part of our staff at that point, It's just like unrealistic, we was to work with them, and we still work with them, but it was just like, I don't know, what their impression was for the public health office, so.
Right. Well, I mean, in the future, is there any way to get us involved so that you don't have to handle flack from somebody who, where it's not your fault. I don't know if the board can do anything, or if the town manager is supposed to, take the lead, or even somebody on the select board.
He assisted, Mr. Manager did assist us with whatever he can, but at that point the email was sent, a lot of other folks on the state was copied, and Tom being a Boston employee, that's on his reputation,
Yeah.
The staff still from them, they did have apologize to Tom, in a written form. But yes, I'll definitely involve the board, this was a very short, kind of time for what we have to deal. But that was my main reason I want to bring this to board's attention, that. Yeah. And I was not present. I heard, both from staff, like 2014, this same thing happened with Mr. Oram,
Yeah, that's unfortunate,
right.
That's for sure. So, if there's any way that, the board can help you out in the future, we're happy to do that.
Thank you, sir. I mean,
yeah.
I appreciate it,
Yeah.
The childhood vaccine program is doing great, I guess we had like 43 kids from Ashland, 35 plus are already vaccinated and back to school. And with that, we're trying to gauge, the need for shingles vaccines in the community. We'll be sending out a survey, starting at the senior center, like what's the need and all that, and hopefully, give out shingles vaccines in the community. That should be upcoming, But this is with the MetroWest Health Shared Services that we are trying to do. With our MetroWest Tobacco Control District grant, that got extended till next year, June 30th, 2023. So we have grant funding for that now. I just want to brief board on the Delta 8 products. This is something new in the market. I mean, it's doing round. Delta 8, they're kind of synthetically different forms, it's like synthetically derived from the hemp plant. And because the THC level is legally lesser than what is allowed, that it doesn't fall under the Cannabis Commission. But the vape products, for Delta 8 kind of fall under our jurisdiction, and we'll be controlling it, We did have tobacco control inspections last month. We didn't see nothing of this nature in Ashland, but we should be working and looking for this Delta 8 products, especially the vaping products. If there are any in the market in Ashland, we will get them removed. Chef website. This is a food website, that started a couple of years back. What they're doing is, having local folks, local moms make the food in their kitchen and then send it to different jurisdictions. Legally under the food code right now, they are not allowed. Only thing that's allowed under the residential kitchens is if they're producing any self-stable product. But here under this website, they are cooking all kind of meals and sending it. I did had one report in Ashland that they are serving community, and we were not able to find out from where it was coming. But right now we are working with the DPH to get this addressed. I'm in communication with the folks there, if we can somehow look into this, regarding the website. The last part, housing issue, couple of ongoing cases at the Ashland Housing Authority, and I have a couple of them opens at the Chestnut Place Apartments on Joint Drive. And I guess that's all. I'm open for any questions, please.
Okay. Well, nothing on the report, thank you. Just, can you give us a little bit of a status update on, not that we're going to be able to get anybody for Nancy Cleary's, spot? I know it's only a few hours a week. Do you have any leads, or how's that being advertised?
So I was internally discussing couple of it. We will be just now working on, the requirements, and we will be posting it soon, But the only good thing is, as of right now, we have a good support from the MetroWest Shared Services,
Yeah.
But definitely we'll be working and posting that sooner,
Okay. All right. Good.
Thank you.
I have a quick question
All right.
for Raj. I don't know if it's quick, but regarding the Delta 8, does that, I understand that in Ashland, we voted not to legally vendor marijuana products. Is that under the authority of that, where you could take these things off the shelf?
That is correct, sir. It's not allowed. So it's typically like, under, it's coming in different forms, right? Like now it's coming in form of gummies, vape products and all that, right? Like this is how typically folks who manufacture these kind of play with the system, right? Now, under the food code we have in Massachusetts, the additives are not allowed in any food product.
Okay.
A lot of these products are manufactured out of the state and then sold here,
Mhm.
Again, not allowed even in the food, with the vape also, yes, under the vaping law, the tobacco law, it's not allowed, so
Okay, got it.
on that basis, and there is some more research to do, and we are working on it, before we're going to send out letters, and I'll present it to the board before it's sent out to our retailers, that these products are not allowed, but kind of little gray area because they are new products, we are seeking legal advice also on this, from our, MBCC, Massachusetts Health Board Association, and folks like that. We are seeking legal advice, how to handle it.
So are you saying that if it came in and was on the shelf as a non-food product, like a pill, that
we are seeing it as a vape product,
Mm-hmm.
So that will be taking it off shelf, as under the tobacco law, we can do that,
Got it. Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Raj, I just have a couple questions. Do you have any upcoming COVID vaccine clinics?
Not at this point, we're just gauging the need, but if you have any specific requirement, please shoot me an email and I look around like what we have in the surrounding communities. We did a 50 plus last week, but if any specific need is, please let me know, I'll try to find it, but not at this point in Ashland, but we're definitely trying to put together something. And I'm talking to Sergeant Berman also, Chief Berman now, sorry, but that put something bigger, but like right now it's multiple windows, right? Like the 6 months to 4 years is approved, boosters for 5 to 11, or 5 to 17, and but please, Barbara, let me know if there is any specific need. Again, I'll try to find out. We're doing definitely more stuff regionally, but we are putting some clinics together at Hopkinton Health Department. Majority of the stuff they are doing, they're just inviting us. If any of our residents need to get vaccinated, we can send them there.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. So for item 8, reorganization of the board, spoke with Raj for about 2 seconds, and he suggested that we hold off until we have a full board. So we will wait until Bernadette gets back. So that's no big deal. So you're stuck with me for at least another couple of weeks, and maybe longer. So as far as number 9 goes, discuss the, July and August. A lot of times in the past, we've done one in those months, or especially in August. I'm happy to chat about it. Anybody have any strong feelings?
How about if we just kind of wait to hear from Laura to see if we have any agenda items? And maybe after she gets 2 or 3, we can just get a meeting, in case there's anything that needs to be approved, for example, a septic or something.
Sure.
Or you could just have a meeting scheduled and then see if you need a second meeting.
Sure.
Yeah,
At least have one.
actually, that's a great idea, Laura. Right. Schedule them this way. We'll have them. And if we don't really have enough to do, we can always push it till, the next meeting.
Right. That's a good idea.
Okay. All right. And so that next meeting,
That would be
the first, when is that, Laura?
so it looks like it would be the 5th or the 19th are the first and third. But if you want to go,
Right. I mean, is anybody, we can also try to move them around if people are planning on taking off. There may be, not though, as long as we have a quorum, we're good, but anybody, taking off that first week, that week of July 4th, because our first meeting would be the 5th.
I'm okay with the 5th.
You're okay? Okay.
I'm fine
I'm
with
good. You're good? Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with
Are
that.
you okay with that too?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then, Laura, so we'll at least have a meeting called for the 5th, and you'll let us know if we need to proceed with it or not. Raj, you okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And then we'll, at one of the meetings, if it's not then, it'll be the most likely the 19th, and then we'll review the August meeting at that point, and when we see, what else might come up. Okay. Great. Anybody with anything else? No? Okay.
I guess I'll make the motion.
Anybody
to
for
adjourn.
number 10? There you go. Second. Ed, Barbara, anybody want to second that?
I'll second it.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Excellent. All in favor? Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Good
Thanks,
night.
Laura. Thanks, Raj.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
And
you.
Ed.
Good
And
night.
Jay, thanks for the hard work on the RAM. That's awesome. Great
Sure.
job.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. We'll see everybody soon.
All right.